Protein synthesis is the mechanism by which the information encoded in DNA is ultimately used to produce proteins. And this process happens in two main stages. First, the genetic information stored in DNA is copied into a molecule called messenger RNA. This stage is known as transcription. Second, the information carried by messenger RNA is used to assemble a chain of amino acids that will form a protein. This second stage is known as translation. So, to understand how proteins are produced inside the cell, we need to examine each of these stages step by step. The first step in protein synthesis is transcription. Transcription takes place inside the nucleus of the cell, where the DNA is located. DNA contains the genetic instructions needed to produce proteins. During transcription, an enzyme called RNA polymerase binds to the DNA. This unwinds a specific region of the DNA molecule. Using one strand of DNA as a template, RNA polymerase links together RNA nucleotides through complementary base pairing. Once the entire gene has been copied, the newly formed mRNA molecule detaches from the DNA. The mRNA molecule now carries the genetic instructions copied from the gene. Because it is smaller and more mobile than DNA, the mRNA can leave the nucleus through nuclear pores and travel into the cytoplasm. And this movement is essential, because the next stage of protein synthesis happens outside the nucleus. Once the messenger RNA reaches the cytoplasm, it interacts with specialized structures called ribosomes. This is where the second stage of protein synthesis begins. The second stage of protein synthesis is known as translation. Translation is the process by which the genetic information carried by mRNA is decoded to produce a sequence of amino acids. These amino acids will eventually form a protein. But here's the key challenge. The information stored in mRNA is written using nucleotides. Proteins, however, are built from amino acids. So how does the cell convert a nucleotide sequence into the correct sequence of amino acids? The answer lies in how the ribosome reads the mRNA molecule. Instead of reading one nucleotide at a time, the ribosome reads the sequence in groups of 3 nucleotides. Each group of 3 nucleotides is called a codon. Every codon corresponds to a specific amino acid. So as the ribosome moves along the mRNA strand, it reads each codon in sequence. But the ribosome cannot bring amino acids to the growing protein chain by itself. Another molecule performs that task. These molecules are called transfer RNA, or tRNA. Each tRNA molecule carries a specific amino acid. On one end of the tRNA is a sequence of 3 nucleotides known as an anticodon. This anticodon is complementary to a specific codon on the mRNA molecule. When the anticodon pairs with its matching codon, the tRNA delivers its amino acid to the ribosome. As the ribosome continues moving along the mRNA strand, new tRNA molecules arrive carrying additional amino acids. One by one, these amino acids are added to the chain, and they are added in the precise order dictated by the sequence of codons in the mRNA. In this way, the ribosome gradually assembles a long chain of amino acids known as a polypeptide. This process continues until the ribosome encounters a stop codon on the mRNA. When a stop codon appears, translation ends. The completed polypeptide chain is released into the cytoplasm, and the ribosome detaches from the mRNA. The sequence of amino acids that forms this chain was determined entirely by the genetic information originally stored in DNA. In other words, information that began as a sequence of nucleotides has now been converted into the structure of a protein.